All right. So, first question, what would you like to be addressed as? Like
Uh,
name or stuff like that during this interview. If I really need to mention like a name.
yeah, Jeff works.
Okay. Perfect.
Either Jeff or Thor, up to you.
All right. Do you have an educational background or like how did you kind of start up, knowing about like coding and stuff like that?
Yeah, so, actually, I'm mostly self-taught,
Okay.
which is to say that it would have been in the early 2000s, probably like 2002
Mm.
2001 to 2003 somewhere. I would have been like, I don't know, 11 to 13. I found Game Maker on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, this is you can use this to make video games." And so I kinda, like, stumbled through it, and kept getting stubborn ideas in my head of things I wanted to do and kept trying and trying until I made it work.
Yeah.
I think, more significantly learned a lot from my time, working in Gary's Mod,
Mm.
where I was able to sort of examine an existing code base and see how others and professionals did it,
Mhm.
and just, like, do my own things, make my own modifications, make what I wanted to happen, and, yeah, like, it's mostly self-teaching and just putting myself around the information and giving myself a goal. Education-wise, I ended up dropping out of community college.
Mm.
It was just a very difficult path for me,
Mhm.
uh, but I'm pretty okay with that.
Yeah, I think it really shows like even without getting a degree, you have passion for like what you were doing.
Mhm.
I always find that so much more beneficial than just getting a degree because so many people just get that degree and then they don't do anything with it because there was never
Mhm.
like anything, no passion with it. Um,
Yeah.
so I find that to be a much more easier path. I kind of did that myself. I'm just using my benefits to do some college, but I've always had that,
Mhm, mhm.
oh, like gotta do some graphic design work, learn some software, stuff like that. So honestly, I I,
Yeah.
I feel you in that situation. All right. Do you
So,
work for a company?
yes, right now I work for Dream Toaster, which is a small contracting studio working in the games industry.
Uh, um, what would you say like your job title is?
Mm, at Dream Toaster, senior engineer.
Okay. What are your responsibilities as a senior engineer?
A lot of it is planning out structure of future features, structure of like bug fixes, cleaning up code, doing reviews of incoming code
Okay.
to sort of like spot bugs or performance issues or ways we could do things better, or even things that could trip us up in the future
Mm,
because we didn't leave in enough flexibility.
mm, okay.
Uh, that and kind of, I guess, a little bit of mentoring here and there.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, with small teams, there are a lot of responsibilities, and I also just, I don't know, I do stuff on design as well.
Mhm. So a lot of mix of things.
Yeah.
What would you say you're like known for?
Uh, as myself,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I know it's a weird
Ri
question.
yeah, Risk of Rain 2 is definitely the biggest, most notable thing I've ever made.
Mm,
Um, and I was one of the 3 people there from the start.
mm,
So that was,
mm,
from there until the anniversary update. I can't remember when that was, but it was a few years. Yeah, it was just the 3 of us. Um, we outsourced sound. We had Chris on the music, and we outsourced like some of the levels.
mm. Okay.
Sorry, I'm ADHDing right through this.
You're fine. Um, what brought you into this like field of work? Like I know you mentioned you had like passion for it, but like what specifically just like, oh, how did I get from here to now, you know?
Um, Stubbornness.
Oh.
No, no, it was just I don't know, it's ever since I first made something that came to life on the screen,
Mm,
I have just been chasing that over and over again. It's a
mm,
wonderful feeling.
yeah.
That and also that's the reward number 1. Reward number 2 is getting to watch how other people react to that and how they sort of like how that art speaks to them.
Mhm. Yeah, I 100% agree with like the whole you create something, it's cool, but then you show people and then it just becomes even cooler.
Mhm, mhm.
And you're like, "Ah," like I've seen a lot of people like when it comes to like art and stuff, have this like small addiction of like
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
basically what got me here
yeah.
is like I got, breadcrumbed into I followed a trail of breadcrumbs, and now I'm here and I don't know how.
Yeah. Um, what are some things you wish you knew before entering this type of work? I guess that's kind of
Yeah,
another weird question. Like I would say like maybe some things you wish you knew about maybe the software you use, maybe the mistakes you've made like while creating something, then you go back and you look at it and you're like, "Oh, I wish I did that," or, I
oh,
wish I
sure,
knew
like,
that.
I could go into, like, the nitty-gritty of, like, fine details of stuff I wish I'd, like, set
Yeah.
up differently,
Hmm.
because the thing with games is, uh and I guess this is software in general, is your past mistakes or laziness can and will come back to bite you in the future.
Mm, yeah.
Because, like, you build games on top of, like, systems that have more systems built on top of those, that have more systems built on top of
Mm,
those, and then when you find out there's a problem in one of the foundational systems, you know, it's gonna be kind of a nightmare to rip everything out and,
mm,
stitch it back together the way it needs to be.
yeah.
Um, what do I wish that I knew? Um, Keep on top of your documents, pay
Mm,
attention to your contracts,
okay.
make sure you got copies of everything. Uh, uh, that's maybe, like, a little darker. I'm trying to think of anything else.
Mm. What do you enjoy most about your job? I guess that's maybe there's a lot of
Yeah,
like little things or like the big picture. So I guess
it's
anything.
really getting to see people have moments.
Okay.
Every single time, someone ejects an item off the cliff in Risk of Rain 2 for the first time, I laugh. It never stops being funny.
Jackson item. Wait, do people are they throwing
So
stuff
so, like
off cliffs? Wait.
so let's say that there's a chest, right, that
Yeah.
you can pay to open,
Hmm.
but the chest is kind of on the edge of a cliff and pointed toward the cliff.
Oh.
So it's like you can spend money to open it, but what do you think is gonna happen when it spits out the item?
Oh, is this like a random like generation thing that just happens?
Yes. So it's like it is something I know how to solve,
Hmm.
and I explicitly chose not to because it's really funny watching somebody, like, look at the circumstances and not go, "Maybe I shouldn't do that."
So they get to
They you, like, you play
decide.
yourself. Yeah. Because I think games are a lot more interesting when it feels like it's respecting your decisions, including the bad ones.
Mhm. What do you enjoy least about your job? Yeah,
Give me a moment to
that's
think about
yeah,
this.
that's also a difficult one. I would say, like, when I think of, like, the small things, it's more of, like, for me, deadlines, it's always a thing.
More
It
like
catches
process
up.
stuff.
Yeah. Like, you like what you
Yeah,
do, but it catches up to you, and you're like, "Should I really rush this, or should I take my time and
yeah,
extend it?"
deadlines are a bit of a problem,
Yeah.
but they are necessary for the
Oh,
thing to
yeah,
actually get done.
100%. Yeah.
Um,
Do you have anything, like
y
where in live 2D when I'm working on like stuff like that, sometimes like I throw in my art and then I have to do this mesh work. There's always
Mhm.
like, oh, I don't really like that part. It's needed to actually make the work
Yeah.
move, but do you have anything like that? Like where there's just a thing you have to do to
Yeah.
get through to the better parts?
Yeah, yeah, it's, because I'm trying to figure out how to say this,
Mm.
kind of at the very least, like, at my old job with Hopu Games,
Mhm.
before I left them, I was mostly the only one substantially working on the code base and planning it out,
Mm.
and since rejoining the project through Dream Toaster,
Mm.
there are a lot more hands on it, which means a lot of, I guess, people trying to meet their deadlines without the kind of familiarity uh, that you get from writing the code base. So
Okay.
I kind of like end up having to do a lot of like cleanup, like fixing other people's messes,
Oh, yeah.
which is like that feels bad to say because these are people that like I respect and like, and it's just sometimes it is I care about the like quality and stability of the thing,
Mhm.
and then it like there are a lot of things you have to consider like networking, optimization,
Okay.
existing tools that we already have, and then you'll find that like a duplicate copy of the tool has been written because somebody didn't know that it existed,
Mhm.
or
Hmm.
yeah, just stuff like that.
So are these people like working off of like the base code that you made? Is
Yeah.
so okay. So they're like
I
how
don't know how much I can go into detail,
okay.
because that is like I think that's kind of like about the limit of what I can say
Okay.
through my NDA.
Yeah. Do you
But
have any like issues or stresses in your line of work? Again, they also list like deadlines, time management, keeping up with things, just
I
like
guess
regular, you know.
I guess I almost answered this question with the previous one,
Yeah.
and maybe the previous one. I guess like maybe we do a switcheroo here. But yeah, like more workflow stuff. Let me see.
Mm.
Dealing with long import times sucks.
Mhm.
Dealing with figuring out how to get stuff bundled up for loading sucks. Oh, trying to figure out what's wrong on some specific person's machine sucks. One time we had an issue. This is apparently a famous programming problem that I didn't know about
Mm.
until it hit me. Is in Turkish, the way the capitalization of the Roman character I is handled is like it's different, and that caused bugs
Oh.
specifically for people with their computer language set to Turkish.
Oh. I didn't know that it could be like a thing, like a language thing that, would interfere with.
Yeah,
Wow.
like say you have a like let's say you have like text
Mhm.
that needs to be converted to all uppercase or all lowercase so that you can compare it against a database.
Mhm.
When you are using the wrong version of that capitalization functionality, it tries to do it locally instead of as if it were English.
Hmm.
And so that means like you'll be trying to fetch a piece of data that doesn't exist
Oh.
because it it capitalizes to like a different character. I don't remember the specifics; it was so long ago. But it's one of those things where if you just Google Turkish eye programming, you'll see a lot of people commiserating about running into that head first.
So this is like a problem not just for you, but like other possibly other
Yeah,
companies and stuff. Was Risk of Rain your biggest project?
absolutely.
Was it 2 or 1?
I joined the team for two.
Okay. For Risk of Rain 2, did you have any like goals for the game or maybe like something while making 2, did you have any like ideas for maybe for the future to kind of like input into the game or maybe some other game or anything like that?
Yeah, I a couple of ideas have popped up of things I would like to do.
Hmm.
There was a bit where the way that I set up the AI was really simple. Like it was data driven. You didn't write code for it. Instead, you put together like blocks,
Okay.
which had different conditions and ways that the AI would behave attached to that. So you
Hmm.
just put together a list of blocks and it would run through. You could update that in real time. Uh, and the AI would update accordingly. I tried to make an AI control one of the player characters.
Oh.
That went really well, just watching them fly around like an anime sword battle in the sky,
Yeah.
right? And I thought that it was so cool just to get that behavior from having these characters with skills and having like this easily scriptable AI,
Mm,
to the point where I would love to someday make a game where you're programming demons,
mhm.
but you're actually like giving them instructions and they take everything very literally because, of course they do. It's malicious compliance, right? They're demons.
Yeah.
So like this sort of game where you are pitting them against each other, like your demon AI versus somebody else's,
Oh, okay.
but it's like again using this simplified setup, and instead of these blocks being like if this and this and this and this, you kind of dress it up with runes, right?
Mm.
Or some sort of like script.
Would this be like one of those games where it's like 100 zombies versus one, and then you just run it? I've
I
seen
mean, you
like
could do that,
similar
yeah.
games like that where they obviously they use the AI and they kind of just like battle it out. All you have to do is put in what you want and then
Mhm.
press play and see what happens.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
it was so much fun doing that just as a designer that it was like this could be a game.
Mm,
Like it would be great to put this in the hands of people like who could see their thing come to life and do what they told it
mm.
in like a very accessible way.
How did you get involved with the company? Is it Hopu?
Yeah, Hopu
Hopu.
Games.
Okay.
So Hopu is the name of the company, but also the online name of Duncan Drummond, who was one of the two founding members, him and
Mhm.
Paul Morse.
Okay.
Uh, they made Risk of Rain 1,
Mm.
and Duncan was in an amateur game development community that I was also in.
Okay.
And I guess like one of the things that I liked to do with my time was people would post like their problems with game dev, and I would just kind of poke at it, investigate it, like
Mhm.
write up tutorials, explanations, like A/B differences between this way of doing it and this way of doing it.
Mm.
Um, and just I guess generally got a reputation for knowing what I was doing.
Okay.
So when I took a road trip up from the LA area to BC to visit a friend, I passed through Seattle and I said, you want to hang out? We could meet up. We did, and
Mm.
we started talking about a hypothetical. I started getting asked questions about it. Well, if we did this thing, how would you do it?
Hmm.
Almost like a stealth interview.
Okay.
Um, but over the coming months, they asked me to try doing like a 2.5D prototype. I worked on that a bit, was not necessarily the direction that we wanted to go.
Mhm.
And I just, I don't even, I never heard the words like, uh, you're hired, you're on board, anything like that. It just kind of
Mm.
happened. Uh,
Okay.
and then like signing the contract was at an earlier point was kind of a formality.
Mm.
But yeah, we just kind of organically, I guess, started working on it together.
Okay. For like game wise, was Risk of Rain like the first game you worked on?
Oh, no, I worked on an earlier game that uh, I was working for somebody else on an early access title that ran out of money and I wasn't getting paid anymore. So
Mhm.
I kind of had to jump ship, which feels bad leaving an early access game in that state.
Mm.
That is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried to get other game projects going, just like maybe not commercially, but
Mhm.
it's very difficult for me to not be making games, I guess is the thing to say,
Yeah.
ever since I was like young. So I've always been working on something. It was fan games. I was trying to make my own Metroid game, trying to make my own Castlevania game,
Mm.
all these little projects. But Risk of Rain 2 is the first thing I've made that's actually shipped and succeeded.
For Risk of Rain 2, what specifically did you like provide the game?
I laid out the sort of like the systems for the game. I programmed like I wrote most of the code in the game.
Mhm.
I also put together a lot of tools, decided on how we would have some of our pipelines set up for getting stuff into the game,
Mm.
um, managed our version control repository, I did some concept art, including enemies, a couple enemies, and scorched acres.
Okay.
Uh, I did writing. I wrote a handful of the logs. Oh, and I was on design as well. Like
Okay.
we pretty much anything that happened with design was the three of us talking it out and figuring out what we wanted to do.
Mhm. Do you have any concept art you can share?
Oh, yeah. I'm afraid it'll look a little amateurish because I'm sure I'll be presenting this to at least a few people that are art students.
Uh,
Whereas I'm a bit more just kind of I do art as a hobby.
I know the DLC just came out.
Mhm.
Also congrats on that.
Thank you.
I seen quite a bit of like streamers I know play the game because they saw the DLC was out. And I know about the like before it came out, there was supposed to be something to involve the more of the drones, like the
Mhm.
little bots.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a whole
Drones.
character, right? Really fun to play. Specifically that
Mhm,
character.
mhm.
Um,
Operator.
yeah.
Yeah. The guys on the team that worked more closely on Operator, they killed it. Like it feels great.
Hmm.
Like, just even it looks fun to watch. Like, if you watch somebody playing Operator, it makes you go like, "Oh, that's like there's a lot going on. There's, like, a lot of action happening
Hmm.
here." I don't know. Yeah. Operator and Drifter. Drifter is the other character that got added. She's like, I guess to put it in, as blunt and concise as possible terms, she's a little Luke Goblin that
Oh,
runs
oh.
around smacking things with her sack,
Oh,
bagging
I think I've
enemies,
seen that. Is
healing
that the
them.
little I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
like
yeah,
some small gameplay of it. Someone was
yeah.
streaming it and
Cliffs.
yeah. Oh my gosh. It reminded me of like when I play Roblox, I play this little small character, but when it runs around, it's always like kind of fast looking. It's always,
Mhm.
moving in its way and that jittery motion. And I find that so funny
That's
when I saw
the
that.
Smiling Friends school of animation.
It was, I think it's cute. It's definitely cute. It's probably something I would play. Once I get
Yeah,
there, of course.
yeah.
Do you have any helpful advice for me? I guess I'm not really gonna. I don't think I would ever get into game work coding or anything like that. I've only known like a little bit of Python, not
Mhm,
even.
mhm.
Um, but I guess it would be like anything helpful for me in the way of maybe coming up with designs or
Mhm, mhm.
timeline stuff. Maybe a good way to get around working with deadlines. I guess
Yeah.
anything like that.
I guess it's part of it is, like, being familiar with the medium
Hmm.
and know what your strong points are. Don't waste time on the stuff that people won't notice or won't help you make stuff.
Okay.
Like, one of the rules that we had kind of unofficially internally at Hoppo Games when we were working on this, but just kinda like we agreed on it, this is the way we should do things, is don't add stuff to the game that makes you add stuff to the game from this point forward. Like, if
Mm.
there was an item in Risk of Rain 1 that upgraded the fourth skill of any character who picked it up, and that was like a unique upgrade for
Oh.
each character. And that's very cool, but the problem with it is that now anytime you add a new character, you also have to add an upgraded version of the skill because we added this, or not because because
Yeah.
they added an item that
Yeah.
demands that you make that new content to go with it. So we tried to avoid making stuff that would make more work for us and
Mm.
instead make stuff that like interacted with the systems we already had in an interesting way or better. Like we tried to play to our strengths and make things that could let the output of our work multiply and not the input of it.
Mm. Yeah, I completely understand that. I've worked with a client who wanted a ton of toggles on their model, but it was interfering with other toggles. So I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh god," like, it just started stacking up, and at some points,
Yeah.
I had to say no because it was getting too choppy or just felt very
Too
unorganized.
unmanageable to work with.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that
could get it done, but it would be long time, before it's actually, and
you would have to,
things.
like,
Yeah.
think a lot about how to reorganize it, do a lot of thinking, a lot of painful, like, reorganizing
Yeah.
and trying to fix things that broke when you were trying to reorganize it, like, nightmare.
Yeah.
Um,
Like,
like, anything that can leave you with loose ends is really not fun.
yeah. I just
Uh,
work manageable work, not
mhm.
something too crazy, you know?
And, yeah, another thing is, um well, I guess to cap that one off, we would still find ways to do sort of some of those things, like, it's very cool, like, to have this ability for like, everybody gets their unique ability, right? Like, engineer can place a 3rd turret, like, he's normally limited to 2 out at a time, but when you get
Mm,
this item, he can have 3 out at a time.
mm,
And instead of just making that, the old way, we added an item to the game that lets you have more charges of your 4th skill for anybody.
mhm,
And then we had the engineer's limit be based on his number of charges. It's very helpful to, I guess, like when you're working with somebody who wants something to happen
mm.
and there are technical restrictions behind it, work. I mean, this sounds obvious, but like work with them to find something else that will achieve kind of like maybe not the exact same end result, but accomplish the same goal as the thing that they wanted.
Okay. Yeah, I've been I hit that point where I have to, like, saying no is a good thing at times.
Mhm. Yes,
And it's
exactly.
it's extremely hard to do. So I guess, yeah, like what you said,
It's kinda
finding
like
that midpoint where you can work
yeah,
with it and they'll be happy with it is always like it's a good look, I would say.
yeah. It's not just, "Yes, I'll do the thing that is going to tear me down," or
Yeah.
"No, you won't get the thing you want." It's, "No, but,"
Yeah, it's just
you
that
know?
that middle find a middle ground with them. So
Mhm.
do you have any questions?
Oh.
Or do you have
Hmm.
anything you would like to share for this interview, I guess?
I guess I could share kind of just a personal philosophy of mine, which is to, like, share. Like, a lot of the stuff that I do, I try to open source.
Hmm.
When people ask me questions about how to do something, like, in the modding community, I try to answer them. I try to guide them through it. Like, knowledge is kind of free to give. Um, and I know
Okay.
that there's maybe some naivety to this,
Hmm.
but I mean, that's kind of how I got the job that I got was, helping other people and,
Okay.
you know, sharing what I had. And that kind of, I don't know, it felt like it came back to me in a good way.
Okay. Yeah, I know like a lot of people might just covet their work, they don't want to share because, that it would just
Mhm,
be it would be out there, it'd be everyone can do it. It's not unique anymore. But at the same
mhm,
time, like, you know, you knowing these things, people are going to remember you, they'll be
mhm.
like, "Oh, they helped me. They did this."
Yeah, it's like it's not just it is helping people, and also it's making a connection
Mm,
in a way, even if it's small.
yeah.
Or I should say, like, it's a way to make a connection.
Mhm. Right. Thank you. Yeah, but thank you for this interview. It was actually quite insightful and makes me want to play Risk of Rain.
I'm glad to hear on both points.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
But
and I
yeah.
had fun for what it's worth.
All right. That's good. That's good. But yeah, thank you. You have a
Mhm.
great rest of your day.
You too. Take it easy.